Hey guys, it's me, Darren Hindle, Transition Sports, as you probably already know, and we've got Aaron Bensted. He was on a couple of weeks ago. We had a good chat and we got great feedback. So what we're going to do is on a regular basis, me and Aaron are just going to have a conversation. We're just going to capture it. What comes of it comes of it. But at the end of the day, we just hope that there's a message, some messages, some key themes, and some things that are worth truly engaging in on. So enjoy it. Hope it is. And I'm just going to focus on Aaron now and forget you guys are all watching. So let's go. So Aaron.
Dazza.
Welcome, mate. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be here.
Well, so how you feel about being here?
Mate, it's warm.
It's warm. We've got the heater on, and it's a cold night downstairs, but
It's a freezing cold day.
it is. But the hoodie looks, mate, you're looking warm in the hoodie.
Mate, the red makes my eyes pop.
So maybe we should try and sell them as throughout the night. Do some specials.
Do a special?
Yeah. Mate, I'm virtually giving my business away, mate. So I don't think I can give my hoodies away. But
we don't want to give the business away.
We'll come up with something.
But no, the hoodie's great. It's actually really comfortable.
Oh, you look nice.
It's great. No, thank you.
Maybe model Aaron is coming down the track.
Nah, just hashtag TS fam. That's what we want. That's all we need. Let's get that rolling.
Oh, you're funny, man. I think we still laugh. We got some new tunes there. It's time for that one. So,
oh gosh, we're going to test all these out tonight, aren't we?
Well,
we're going to have to think of some new material by the time next podcast rolls around.
I think I'll be banned from Sydney. You'll have to swap with me, mate.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think I might lose my...
We need the adult operating the controls.
So, tonight, legend.
Yes.
What do you think we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about some... I suppose we can talk about what you're doing, how you're travelling, COVID, lead into it, and then we'll just go into some things where we think COVID might be being used for the wrong reasons now.
Yep.
Now we're going to COVID 2. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So let's talk about it. I think maybe you can probably talk about. I know you touched on it today. You did a little bit of a video.
Yep.
Maybe on where you see it at now for TS.
So TS,
for the wider family, just so they get an understanding or a bit of a feel for where you see it's going to be at for you and this place for the next 6 weeks now, 5 weeks.
Yeah,
nearly
5 weeks,
5
6 weeks. Which I think reality might be a little bit more or a little bit more involved than just the 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yep.
So we got a vision. The vision is not a guarantee. It's like having a budget. There's no guarantee with the budget. We are putting things in place. We've done the hard yards, which I think I'm happy with. Like we've done hard yards, it's crazy. Yeah. I call COVID the first part COVID 1. We're in COVID 2.
Yep.
So we're better positioned for it as a setup.
Yep.
But now again, we still got no people coming in. The money's drying up.
Yeah.
So we decided to outlay a little bit more into software and platforms that will be ready for when we do open up.
Yeah.
So we're better prepared for everything we do and how we do it. We're doing what we do as well anyway, but we want to go next level.
Yeah.
Which is Adelaide, but we'll talk about Adelaide another day.
Yep.
Because that's still, early stages and they're doing some good things over there, but it's just not in sync yet because we're grounded and they're flying.
Yep.
But going forward, we're just trying to create the online platform, which is early stages. But this podcast, this room will be more of an engaging room to get the message out for the community and the players, and we're going to have fun doing it too. Like we'll have fun.
Absolutely.
There'll be messages, but there will be a purpose in every segment that's on. And if it's a light-hearted, fun one, it's a message in everything we do.
Yep.
It's got to have purpose, intent. So that's Transition Sports. And are we scared? Yeah. Are we a bit fearful of the outcome? Absolutely. But we are who we are. We're fighters. We'll fight through it. And mate, we've been through worse, mate. So
that's it too. It's like the AFL. Footy finds a way. Basketball will hopefully find a way.
You got to adapt.
Find a way.
We had a chat today, which you spoke on, which we'll upload later in the week. But we've got to adapt. But the thing that I'm finding now is how many times can you adapt and adjust and so forth, which I'm struggling with in that respect. I'm always energized, but you can easily get flat.
Yeah, of course.
And how are you going with that's us as a business? How about you you're working from home?
I'm working from home.
So how do you find that?
It hasn't been too bad in its winter.
Yeah, sure.
And look, COVID-19, I probably shouldn't laugh first off because COVID-19 is a real struggle for so many people.
Correct.
Touched on that. But for me personally, it's been relatively okay.
Sure.
My wife and I, we're fortunate enough to both still be in jobs and jobs that aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon. So that's really fortunate for us. But working from home, it's been okay. I've had my son Patrick at home. He finished off the school term last time. They had 3 weeks back, but we did the homeschooling thing. And again, we found it to be okay because it's probably because we've only got one child, so we're able to sort of split the duties there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I generally handled the maths, and Beck handled the English.
Yeah, good.
So
Makes sense.
good. So that made life a little bit easier there. So now we're just getting ready for, I guess, what the next stage is. But look, I mean, you do an 8-hour day at home. You try and separate the work day from your family life. So I'll make a conscious effort to, well, the gym's not open, but I go out and go for a run at the end of the work day and then come home, and then that's family time, to try and separate the work to the family time.
And that's probably the hardest thing, is the separation. Of knowing when do you switch off. You've walked into a room that you're still in 24/7. Well, how do I switch off? You know, 1 minute I'm a worker in this room, the next minute I'm a parent in this room.
Yeah.
It can't be easy.
No, definitely not easy, because technically, you know, I'm not allowed to have, because my job, a lot of the information is meant to be private, kept confidential. So we tend to live separately whilst we're working anyway, but it's still great to have, well, my wife there, my best friend there, to actually have a conversation with day in, day out, except for when she has to go to the office. But, I mean, it's been a little bit fun. It's been a little bit fun because, you know, a lot of the time I'll find at the normal working day, I'd be wondering, well, what's Patrick doing, or what's Beck up to? You know, it's easy to send a text to Beck, but I can't do anything with Patrick because he's at school. He's in grade 3. So
does that mean you're going down to a path where you're loving what you've got? You've seen your kid grow, and Paddy, but now but we go back to normal.
Yeah,
things go back to normal.
Yeah,
are you going to find a loss or a slight another adapting, you know, for the better, that we're going back to normality?
Yeah.
But you have to readjust the fact of what you're getting used to at home.
Yeah, I think there might be an element there, and this might be the case for a few families and people, is maybe a little element of separation anxiety or whatnot. I don't know, but that could be a real possibility. I mean, we touch on mental health in, you know, TS and whatnot, but yeah, that could be something that's on the horizon when and if we get back to normal. That's for sure. So that's something to think about. Well,
I think this COVID-2 thing is people starting to show signs. They got a little bit of normality. And they looked at what they could probably lose or what they're getting used to.
Yeah.
They've gone back to it, so they've got to adapt again.
Yep.
I think people are getting confused of what's actually bringing their fulfillment in their life.
Yeah, that's probably true.
We had I won't say who, a player who just is basketball.
Yep.
But now there's no basketball. So the fulfillment is missing. So then before you start questioning how you think, how you feel, how you adapt, how you don't adapt, am I feeling right or wrong?
Self-worth,
you know, what are you missing, what are you not missing? Is it right or wrong to feel this way? And then you start to question everything that you're doing. And then you start to lose interest in what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's just a small example of a few examples that we've gone through.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how people are adapting and changing so many different times and so many different ways in such a short time.
Yeah. And what can you say to those people? I mean, everyone's different, so you're probably saying different things to different people. But I mean,
it's about if it's a young girl, whether age or a kid or a boy, even an adult, the scenario, the situation, you just got to be a bit delicate. But the general consensus is if we feel that's just because of COVID-19, we just got to say it's a normal feeling.
Yeah.
It's uncertainty.
Yeah.
It's the unknown. It's the lack of reward for the hard work you're doing. Because people are saying, we're not getting to play. So, you know, how can I train? If I do train in the backyard, front yard, I'll go to play, then they cancel on me again. So we're losing. The finish line keeps getting pushed away. The outcome or the reward. So you can't set a goal.
Yeah.
You can't actually fulfill an outcome.
No, not in the normal way you've had to been able to fill outcomes for the last years.
Correct.
Depending on where players are at.
So we're telling kids to try and be normal. We can't. So we can't say it's just normal. No. We say, sorry, I came out wrong. It's a normal feeling to have.
Yeah.
These feelings we're having, but we can't try and tell them to try and act normal.
Well, this is the new norm, isn't it?
Well, we don't know.
Is this the new norm?
Well, we don't know.
That's a great question.
It keeps changing because if we're in level 3, we've been in level 2, we've been in level 1, we may go to level 4.
Imagine that.
Well, that's another new normal.
Well, I wouldn't be here sitting next to you, would I?
No, correct. Not. So this is the whole thing, and this is work related.
Yeah.
So we can do certain things to a minimum, to a degree.
Yeah.
Maintain a spacing, but this is your work hub. This is what you do as a part-time job transition.
Yep.
And so we got those things, but that's going to come to a stop soon.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. It's a little bit scary. It's scary. If that's the case.
I just don't know.
Yeah. I think, again, I don't know if we touched on this when I spoke or if other people have spoken.
But for Glenn, you got a lot of great feedback on the conversation we had the other week. So credit to you, mate. Awesome job.
You. Thanks,
awesome engagement. That was awesome. Sorry, kick it.
That's good. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
No, I didn't mean that. I just thought it was a moment to say when you spoke last week. You
mental health going forward. It's going to be so front and center, or front of everyone's mind going forward, out of this, through this. I hope basketball clubs, not only basketball clubs, schools, wider community, employers, invest in this more than what they've had to before.
And that's,
I think.
Well, you saw a bit of the one we had to touch on a conversation today with someone, which we'll upload again later week.
Yeah.
Is that the problem with this is investing in time, money, the whole thing. But sometimes people got to work out how far can you go that it's no longer, this is not your role. This is not your responsibility. I don't mean that in a wrong way. Like, clubs should step up. We need to, make sure we create the environment that's just showing the genuine care for the kids and the well-being of others.
Yeah.
But if, say, for example, you're a coach,
yep.
You're now a coach, now you've got to maintain the psychology side of things for the kids. You've got to maintain the parents. So your role's going to change. But when do we say, I can only do so much when we've got my own problems, my own issues? We've all been through it together. Yeah. Clubs are struggling to survive as it is. Yeah. So when we all get back, we're going to want to help them. But how do we know what to put in place? We have professionals. We have volunteers. We have, I don't know. I'm more scared about is people going to be given roles that they're not ready for, and they're going to feel compelled to play a role they don't know nothing about.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I think that makes sense. So I'm just trying to think. So for a team manager, for example, of a basketball team, I'll just think rep level. So that's the level I'm at.
Exactly. Yep.
Friday nights, I think they were planning to have possibly no parents.
Correct. A lot of debate about that too.
There's a lot of debate about that in the games. But you could have maybe a team manager who would possibly maybe assign the duties of sanitisation, whatnot. I don't know. So, yeah, I think there's... Who would want that job? It's a tough... I don't know if someone would want to do that and be responsible for that.
Well, if I'm a club, I might say, well, you know what? I can't do this because I'm so consumed by everything that's happened around me as it is.
Yeah.
And I've now got to go into another area I know nothing about, or I'm not.
No one's trained on it,
or I'm not comfortable about. But we're not trained.
Like the security guards.
Well, that's another problem.
Yeah.
We presume we're putting people in place to do their job.
Yep.
That's their role description. But what I'm trying to get my hand around is a coach coaches, the team managers.
Yeah.
A CEO runs a club. And we put things in place to do the right things for bullying and the environment and culture.
Yeah.
But we're talking about mental health now.
Yeah.
That's a whole new ballgame.
Oh,
we have Mindspace, we have Are You OK, we have your Beyond Blues. We have organisations that do that as a professional thing and still struggle to keep up.
Yep.
Still try to have the same impact that we all think they should have.
Mm.
How is a coach going to do that? How is a club going to do that? Is what I get worried about. If they do, I'm going to say great job. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it.
No, but they're going to have to invest in that, aren't they? To try and help coaches be... I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to coach, so let's just be clear on that. But the player-centered coaches might be the coaches that thrive through this.
Absolutely.
And past this. If you're not a player-centered coach, where does that leave you longer term? Will you still love the game longer term? I don't know. Will you still have a place in the game? I hope so. We don't want to lose coaches to anything. But yeah, the investment that coaches are going to have to make in trying to understand their athletes, and by extension, as a coach, you never want to interfere with families. But like you said, parents, whatnot, they're all going through something that no one's ever gone through before. So how can we, as a basketball community, help each other along through that? And like you said, it's scary because there's no clear picture. There's no end goal in sight. There's no... Yeah.
Well, that's why. I mean, I'm not...
It's scary. I see what you're saying. It's scary.
I'm not in the luxury of knowing what clubs are not doing or what they're doing, but I like to think that all the heads of the clubs are getting together going, how can we manage this better?
Yep.
And not worry about the return date. Worry about how we manage these kids, just get them back on court.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that we can make them feel, understand that they're deserving, they're worthy, they've struggled. Our expectations are going to have to be lower than what we used to have.
Yeah.
And if a kid has struggled and not trained for 3 months, two parts of me says, well, they had plenty of time to do that. But then again, there might be reasons why they didn't.
Yeah.
So do we have to hold them accountable or not accountable? There's just going to be the balancing act, the blame game.
Yeah. Well, when you think about why kids may not have been working out or whatnot, probably loss of routine. Is it the loss of routine in everything? Like going to school, you know what your routine's going to be. Yeah, you generally come over, you do your homework, or you've got your set time, you go to practice. There's no routine set out probably now. There probably is a little bit, but you're more or less responsible for your own guidance or development around that. So the disciplined ones are going to be the ones that can set a routine for themselves, devote the time, the energy, the effort, the mindset to it, and then will those athletes be the ones to shine out of this?
And that's where, just in those couple of sentences, there's massive debates already in multiple topics.
Mm.
Are they disciplined?
Yep.
Or are they better managed by having the right support platform?
Yeah.
Did we have the right household surroundings that is the same as the other person next to me?
Yeah, because there's variables there, isn't there? There's
mate, both
again, we talk about both parents or single parent or whatever it is, guardians.
Both people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
The kid knows now there's personal stress within the family.
Yep.
There might have been a death because you can no longer experience a funeral. There might have been a birthday that you couldn't have had, which you were looking forward to. There might have been the fact that you were year 12, you know this year you're not going to do your formal. Yeah. Things that you're going to miss out on. Yeah, you made the state team. Yep. You're going to wear the state colours. And that might be the first time, it might be the last time you get to play for the state or have an opportunity to play for the state.
That's right.
It's so many things that going to be reasons why.
Yep.
I can also go to an example, say, well, okay, let's look at the ones who truly just lazy.
Wow.
So there's those ones.
Yep.
But we're not going to have the right time to decide what you're lazy, you had personal things, you had this, you had that, and I can't judge you all for the same. So how do we get them all back together under the same banner, the same way, and get the ball back rolling to try and get back to as normal as quick as we can in the right way? There's too many variables now.
So many.
And that's what worries me about, and we've just touched this where we have a topic, a blame game.
Blame game. Who's to blame? Who's going to be to blame for where we are or where people are outside of or during this or after this?
Spot on. So the biggest debate on that one would be, do I blame COVID-19?
Can you blame COVID-19?
Well, the answer predominantly would be, of course.
Of course, well, yeah.
But then I say, well, hang on. Especially, I'm going to call this COVID-2.
Yeah, because we're in our second phase.
If we've got through it and we know we can get through it and we can find ways and we start to get back to normality, so we survived it. So I might say we got the next 6 weeks. You know what to expect.
Yep, that's true.
So you know that if you sit on the couch, you're going to struggle.
Yep.
If you don't engage with your mind or your body, it's going to hurt.
Yep.
You're going to feel the difference between what you can do and what you can't do. So your mental, social, physical, all the impacts.
Absolutely.
So I just wonder whether I say, well, you've got all the time in the world to become self-reliant, not depend on anyone else to make you become better. But then I go about the other variable. We don't know the story of what this kid or child or children or family have got to go through, let alone the 3 months, let alone the next 6 weeks. I did a thing a little while ago. I was up on I drove the car, parked, and did a bit of an upload of how I feel about the storm. Yeah. Same storm.
Same storm.
Same
we're all
boat.
in different boats.
Yeah. But people were saying we're in the same boat. I said no. So again, you're in a 5-star cruise liner. You're not going to get luxuries. You still get to enjoy a trip.
They all get COVID-19.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But you've got these variables.
No, you've got the variables. Yep, that's
big
right.
hole in one boat, so how do we manage this? How do you find ways to find solutions, let alone just getting kids back playing again? Will it be the same?
I don't think it could be. I think it'd be a little bit unreasonable to expect it would be the same.
So is there a positive out of this or negative?
Depends on the person.
And the environment.
Yeah, exactly right.
Directions certain clubs were taking, not taking.
Coaches, yeah.
So could it change the way we see things? Could it change the way we feel about things? Could we actually change, say, you know what? Maybe it might be a good way to band together and create a better environment. I don't know.
Absolutely. Oh, we should be banding together, shouldn't we?
I think so.
But you could debate all day about the political world, but we won't go there. We don't want this to be a political show.
Yeah, but social media's not telling us that we're all on the same page.
No,
and that we're all fighting the same fight.
No, it doesn't.
Some people feel as if I'll say it once and once over it's politics. I'm not worried about whether we got COVID-19 from the protests. And I'll support having a fight and argument about how you feel. But change the attitude of how we felt about COVID-19. If you can see a mass congregation of people it's going to make you think, well, we can do the same in a smaller way.
Yeah.
Then if we all start doing little small packs, of course it's going to spread again, isn't it?
Well, this is a debate, right? As well. You see AFL running around right now. I love my footy.
Yep.
You see rugby league, they're playing right now. Why? Why should they get to play? Oh, it's great to have something to watch.
Yeah, correct.
I've been going insane without any live sport to watch.
I agree.
But is that sending the wrong message as well?
And that's why I look at the blame game and how we feel and how we don't feel is, well, I see one thing and I wonder why I feel that way. Then I see something else. No wonder why I feel that way.
Well, I look at it. There's a game up in Brisbane. There's, 10,000 people in there? Why? Why do you still? I mean, it's great that Queensland's in good shape compared to Victoria, but why? Why do you need to put a crowd in there? I mean, the general acceptable, I think, norm right now is that, yeah, it's great to have AFL going, but we should still. You see them sitting in the crowd; they're not social distancing amongst these little clusters of groups, are they?
So if you feel that way,
we're being it seems to me it's unreasonable. It doesn't seem right.
Well, it changes your attitude on how you see things.
Yeah.
So then you think if it's okay for them, what are you going to think? It's okay for you.
Okay for you. Is that why Melbourne's in the position it could be right now?
And like I said,
but we are testing more than what we ever have.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too.
And I don't know numbers, and that's why I don't get caught up in it.
No.
Because what I hear and what I know, I don't know that either. Or I don't know facts. But just as a perspective view, if I see a mass gathering anywhere and nothing comes of that, as in fines or accountability, I'm going to judge that. If that's okay, well, it's okay for everyone else.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not worried about that. It's not about the politics. It wasn't about what they're supporting, what they're not supporting, what they're fighting for. It's got nothing to do with the race, and it's got nothing to do with that.
No, you hear.
If I see a mass gathering, I'm going to judge what I see.
And think that's okay.
And I think it's okay.
Perception's reality sometimes, isn't it?
And we live in it's a perspective world. What I see is when I say it looks wrong, it probably is wrong. If it looks right, it probably is right.
Yeah.
If you look lazy, well, you probably are lazy. I don't know. It's just
yeah.
Perspective views, everything.
Perspective views. I think so. Obviously, we've finished the VJBL season, so I think
which is sad, and I understand.
Sad.
I support, but
crushed last Tuesday. I tell you that when the news came down, and you pass the message on to the team that I had this year. So under 18 boys, ready to have a big year.
Sure.
We played one VC game, and then bang, everything's on hold.
Yep.
And then once the social restrictions sort of dropped off, we were able to sort of get back together. We weren't in the gym. We were on the beach doing an hour's worth of training and whatnot. And it's more or less, it wasn't to get them on the beach and flog them. It was more or less just to get together and have the camaraderie and be around each other again, because that's what that team feel to be about. And then you start to, the restrictions ease again, and I think we got two Sundays worth of an hour indoor on the court again. And to the boys' credit, they look bloody sharp. They look really sharp.
Yeah, good.
Because they've been working, all 9 of them. And then we got to Sunday, we trained, but you could sort of, as I could feel, looking at the whole social scene and the community and what it was looking like, and the cases were going up day by day, you just had a bad feeling in the bottom of your guts. Sunday morning, going into Sunday afternoon, that I don't know if this is going to be right. And then Tuesday, what it was last week, they pulled the pin on it. Spoke to the guys. We passed the message on to the guys. They would have known about it anyway. They're all on social media before I probably even got the message to them. Gave it 48 hours, and we had a Zoom meeting together.
Yep.
Just to close out our season.
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. I would never envisage 4 months ago having to do that.
So how do you finish that? How do you do that? Like I don't normally say, well, we did this, we achieved that, we didn't achieve this, we should have got that. How do you sign off on a season you actually didn't partake in?
It's hard. The mood was, and I probably had this mood as well. I was terribly deflated, and I think the guys also obviously deflated as players, and I felt real sorry for the top age guys that we had as well, not being able to close out their juniors.
So is there a rumour that they're going to change the age group?
I wish they would.
No, I've heard a strong rumour.
You've heard a strong rumour? That'd be great because...
And I've heard it from multiple times now.
That would align with the rest of the world, wouldn't it?
And I'm not really liking rumours. I hate rumours because so many goes around. But I think they're looking at the changing the age group to actually say these kids don't miss out.
Yep.
So it doesn't impact anyone.
Yep. That'd be great.
Eventually just pausing it to transferring it.
And you'll have mostly the same sort of groups again.
So if you went from under 19s, 17s, everyone's in the same age group, same age bracket.
That'd be great. Do it.
And look, again, I just don't know. I mean, but it makes sense if they went to the odds. Yep. Everyone's in the same team, same group, same concepts, and we just carry off where we left.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But going back, so we closed it off. We all got together a Zoom meeting, and we spoke about our feelings a bit, and I sort of led off on that, and let the guys have their say. And the general message was just complete deflation, shattered. The swear jar might come in here. Do we have the swear jar?
Yeah, that's why we've got a jar. So I'm just be I was going to do it.
Jar going. Really annoyed to put it politely, but yeah. To your question, how do you assess it and go, well done, or were we pleased? How did we mark everyone's not mark?
What's your measures?
What's your measures? All I could sort of draw comparisons on was where we were in March to what I'd seen the last 2 weeks on the court. But I think, and you've obviously been catching up in the lead up to that. It's amazing how much they've grown as individuals.
Sure.
Since March. I mean, they still had to go about their school life online or whatnot for a certain period. Some have physically grown. Like there's one guy I reckon who's nearly grown 2 inches. Crazy. It's so you're more or less going. If you think back to where we were October, you go through the tryouts, you start putting the team together and whatnot. You look at their development from then to about March, pause it, and then look at it again. You go, well, there's definitely improvement there because I think we made a great effort as a team to get together wherever we could and speak. And I think it was a good group of guys that could have a great relationship. They obviously played with each other through the years and whatnot. So I think that was something that we could sort of loosely hang our hats on that. Yeah, you know what? For the time we had together, we did improve. We didn't really get to see the fruition of it, like in terms of the end goal, the result of where we may have ended up and how the season would have gone. But I think that's all we could do. Measure individual growth.
So I'd find it hard. How do you turn the Zoom off? You say goodbye.
Yeah, no, that was tough.
Normally it's high five, all the best, good luck, hug, individual. And how do you feel the fact that you're doing it through a screen? I would not be able to do that.
You wouldn't. Yeah,
it was
weird.
I'd do
super weird and tough.
Yeah, I'd do it, but I'd just be. I would not be myself for a very long time, knowing that that's how I had to end it.
Yeah, that was tough. It felt not right, completely not right. And I do hope I'm sure I'll see these guys around again. But I think the good thing was each of the guys went around and spoke about one or two things that they loved about the year or got out of the year. It wasn't so much, I learned how to do this. Sure. No, it was more or less, I loved the camaraderie or those sorts of messages. What you stand for. Those were the most predominant messages that came out of it.
Well, it's good that you're not talking about X and O's.
No, we didn't really at all.
But that's a good thing in yourself to know that that's what you're judging it on.
Yeah,
because that's true measures. As the individual, what you got out of the individual, as a person, partly as a player, and how they bonded and merged within a group that I used to being a part of. That's measures, man. I got a situation where, well, it's my daughter actually, and I'm not judging it. I get it. So she actually plays at Geelong. So her season's finished, but they've now created a round robin format amongst regional country teams. Yeah. So her team, and so there's 2 girls miss out in this team, and there'll be other kids that miss out in other teams. So her virtually season's finished while they carry on. So it's like they've been left, not from the team or the Geelong's point of view, but they've been left behind. Their season's done. Yeah. But for the other 8, they're still carrying on.
Wow. How does
Tyra's Tyra. But I mean,
talk me through that mindset.
I just don't know. I mean, I understand, with the lockdowns and Metro, and I get that's what's happened. Yeah. I get that's the situation, but that's just another unusual circumstances. So you've signed off to your team that you've got to finish with. Yeah. Or actually start from finish. You got 2 girls in a team that now, and other kids in the same situation. I'm not judging anyone. No. Have now stopped. Yep. But that team's moving forward.
Wow.
If there is, well, the season's over, so VJB is done.
Yeah.
So they've still got something they can build on. These two don't. So how do they finish their season? It's done now, or do they wait till their season's finished and they have a farewell?
If you ever get to.
Yeah, but it's just an unusual circumstances.
Yeah.
Which no one would think about.
No.
They say, they can't play you from it. Yeah, okay, I get that. But the problem is, kids do travel to play somewhere else for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
There's reasons why my kids don't play locally. Yeah. But some kids will travel now. So in the metro to metro is a fair distance.
Well, we had one of my players from Mansfield.
Well, there you go. And
he couldn't even get on the Zoom call because
no internet.
No internet. It was
struggling
to get on. So he wasn't even able to be on that.
Well, so
I called him afterwards. But
there's another example.
You
couldn't.
How tough is that?
Yeah. So there's all these different scenarios.
That was his first year at the club too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's scenarios people are not they should think about.
No.
There's scenarios. There's more that we don't know about.
Oh.
And the impact that would have on each kid.
Yeah.
Like
these girls, what they did for these two was amazing. They sent a video. We miss you. We wish you were part of it. It's great. But it's not the same.
No, it's not.
And it is what it is.
Yep.
But there's just so many different things that are creating more problems.
Yeah.
We don't know the impact it will have now or later for those 8 leaving that too, or vice versa, or your kid from Mansfield.
Yeah.
It'll have an impact. Some just don't know it yet.
Yep.
It might happen later. It might be at the next tryouts.
Yep.
You actually, for the regional clubs, they're still playing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So they're part of the VJBL.
You are going to see it tryouts whenever they are. I think they're usually October, aren't they? Now?
Correct.
It's September. You're going to see the kids that put in the effort all the time or were disciplined and who haven't been able to be.
There's that debate is how do we allow that decision? Because I'm glad I'm not coaching anymore, to be fair. If I was coaching, I would struggle at tryouts knowing that, hang on, but I know that kid.
Yeah.
But I also know their situation.
Yeah.
They're not going to be where they need to be now, but they will be in January.
But how many kids you don't know, which is probably more than you do know.
So, and they're going to miss the moment. So,
I'm not looking forward to that.
I feel for any coach, I don't blame clubs' decisions, VJBL, great job they all try to do. No. So it's not that way how I feel about it.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate situations that are rising and coming from it. And there's going to be more situations that probably haven't thought about and the impact of those situations.
Yeah.
Well, what we do here at Transition Sports, we think about those situations. We deal with those situations and we say, okay, well, how we help them cope with that. But we can, that's what we do here. But I understand how it's hard for a club. I understand that their role is their role. You're going to do so much within your role because most people have those roles are full-time workers.
Yeah.
Have a family. So I look at all those scenarios and think it's just, I feel for them all.
Yeah. It's tough. There's no answers anywhere.
No.
There's no playbook to play by.
Or
there isn't. Is there now though? Well, that's the question we were sort of touching on before, isn't it? So we know what to expect now.
Oh yeah, well, do we? I know I said that because it sounds, and I get that, but if the finish line is not 6 weeks and they move it again,
the finish line now is tryouts, though, isn't it? Or looking at next season,
but
for these or domestic.
But if tryouts are in place, it's like we're not going to have Christmas this year. It's just like
I was saying that to my brother the other day. Imagine Christmas rolls around and you cannot get together with your family.
It's not Christmas.
That's not Christmas.
It's like a funeral. It's not a funeral.
That's shattering.
It's all sad. But yeah, we don't know that tryouts are official. We had a start date 2 months ago. We passed that one, or we had a potential resume date. Then that got moved again.
Yeah.
Then they had to set a date. Fell short again. We didn't get that moment. They had to push out again. So how do we know if it's 6 weeks? So I can understand now why kids would say, well, I'll believe when I see it. 6 weeks?
Well, this is the thing now, isn't it? Yeah. So how?
Business is the same. Business are in the same boat. How long am I restricted for? How long can I not be my business and be fully operational? And how long can I suffer the hemorrhaging?
Yeah.
How much can we hemorrhage, Look at the hospitality industry. How can they suffer if they keep saying, we'll shut you down again? Or we'll try 6 weeks, but we're not going to full lockdown. Okay, so now we're worse off.
Yeah.
Are we better just to shut down and pause and get through it? So we all stop and freeze? I think they did that in a country where everyone just froze. They froze everything. Bank accounts, sport, work, everything just froze.
Bank accounts?
I think they just froze.
You're kidding me.
When I say bank accounts, I mean as in paying yourself as a light. Everything just froze.
Wow.
So just stop. When we open back up, it's back to normal. I can't remember where that was or somewhere.
Gee whiz.
But I don't know. I just get worried that the 6 weeks is going. It's just kids is going. I don't believe you.
Yeah, that's so hard to help people through. Well, hopefully this will help.
I hope so.
It's us talking.
Well, I hope we're not making it more negative, but
no,
as in highlighting all these scenarios.
Yeah.
But
Look,
what I want to do is highlight things so we can think about things, so we can start to deal with things and not be shocked by them at the end of it.
Yeah. So what's the best advice we can give, or perspective we can give our young athletes, TS and the wider community, who are heavily invested in their basketball development or their love of the game?
Well,
what's the one thing to you? Number one thing.
The number one thing. It's a hard one because there's so many different things that branch off.
There's no probably no right or wrong answer. But what's your thought?
Number one.
One. Do you want me to make it easy? I can make it one or two.
No. I'm just trying to think about what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it's the internal side of things, not the external.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
yeah, so I'm narrowing
the
down.
Internal controls the external.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on the internal, what to say to them, how to make them think, because it's okay how they feel.
Oh yeah, that's probably the first thing. Is it's okay to feel this way,
and
that's probably the thing that I'm being judged. If I express it, I feel this way. I may have touched on it. Is you're always judging yourself against others. What's normal? What's not? We don't know what the normal is right now. So that's probably the one thing. Is
it's okay.
Go.
But what I don't want to see, and this is my biggest concern of all, is the blame game. Okay, I understand it's okay to feel the way you feel, and I understand it's hard. I've dealt with mental health. I've struggled. I've been high and low, and I struggle today, and everyone knows that. It's not a secret. I know what it's like to feel the way you feel. I understand that sometimes it feels amplified than what it truly is, but don't make it an excuse. If you're definitely struggling, let's reach out and find ways to deal with it, but don't use it as an excuse. That for the next 6 weeks you'll choose not to do nothing, or use it as I'm trying to be very careful what I say here. With mental health, people can say it's COVID-19, it's why I didn't train. If you give me the reasons why you didn't train, then I'll start to understand your mental health. Or not understand it, but start to break it down.
Yeah. But
don't tell me you're sitting on the couch playing your Xbox and you're in a very happy mood and you're loving life, but COVID-19 is the reason why you didn't train. That I don't want to have.
That's not.
But it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are going to say, COVID-19, my kid did not want to get off the couch. But were they still active? Were they still engaged? If they still had the positive traits that they still, that's who they are, you'll know if they're being lazy. But the ones who are seriously struggling to get through this, we need to know, or not we, but your family, the people that you're so close to, they need to know what you're struggling with. And it's okay to say you're struggling. It's okay to say that you need help.
Yeah. You got to open up.
And I don't want to hear the analogy that, we're all in the same storm, same boat. That means kids won't open up. Because they're going to say, well, if I open up, we're all in the same situation, or someone's worse off than me. I don't want to hear that. It's okay to say I'm struggling. It's okay to say I'm missing my basketball. It's okay to say that I'm not coping with this.
Yeah.
But we don't know when to say it. We worry about comparisons. We worry about what everyone else is or isn't doing, so we won't open up.
Yeah.
My message is, as long as it's true and real, open up.
Yeah.
But do not use it as an excuse.
No.
Because those people will be found out.
100%.
That's my message.
Yeah.
Do not use it for the wrong reasons. Use it for the right reasons, and do what needs to be done for you to get through this. That's what I would say to anyone and everyone.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
What would you
Absolutely. Well, that. That's easy to piggyback off that. Look, I'll talk from when I've been through what I've been through a little bit.
Yes, which touched on last time. So for the ones who don't know.
Yeah. So, my wife went through breast cancer, and the initial shock and diagnosis, and the world's unfair to working through treatment for an extended period of time, and you see what that does to people. But I spoke about routine for me, and that got me through. The error I made was through that, and I'm not going to say cancer's compared to COVID-19 and all. I heaped more onto me.
You create more of a routine outside your normal routine.
That's right.
So what's a normal routine?
That's right. So there's a fine line, and I wish that's why hindsight's a beautiful thing. I wish I didn't do that because I was absolutely spent and burnt out after it. But try and stick to some sort of basic routine that you would have had. Now, I can't say you get dressed. Maybe some people do. Some people do, actually. They work from home.
We had an example.
So we won't.
Oh, I can say it. I won't say the person's name.
Don't say names.
So someone works from home. They actually wear their shirt at work while they're at home.
Yep.
And once their day's finished, they take their shirt off and they wear back to normal clothes. I think it's an amazing concept. Amazing way to think about it. Awesome. Yep. And the person I love him. Me and him have done a lot together.
Yeah.
And I love it when he told me that.
Yeah.
And I think I've got to call him back. So I've got to give him a call back.
Great friend.
Because now I'm I gotta go. I was in one of those crazy dazzle modes. Yeah. But sorry. So going back to that.
Sorry, that's a sort of a really good example. So the routine of getting up when you get up. So I'm just trying to think through a normal weekday here, excluding a weekend or whatnot. Sorry, I should talk into this better.
No, that's all right.
Your alarm's set. Alarm doesn't really change. Time. You still get up. Breakfast, whatnot. Now, if you're homeschool, if you're online learning school, should you still get in your school uniform?
Well,
or it's probably don't want to put too much pressure on the young ones here. Or do you get dressed, comfortable learning clothes, whatever it is. You may have casual clothes or jeans or get dressed, stick to your routine of doing your schoolwork in what would be the normal times.
Absolutely.
So you do your 9 till 10, 10:30, is it? 11, I don't know. Then you do your recess and you come back and you do your more work and you do your lunch and you could still have a bit of a set routine about your life, I think. And you're in the confines of your house or whatnot.
Fridge.
TV.
Fridge.
But this is where the discipline comes in, right? So I'm not going to sit there and I'll get my schoolwork done in the usual sort of time or, time frame and then sit in front of the TV. This is where the discipline's got to come in. Get outside. If you can't get outside for whatever reason, it is the middle of winter. So you're going to have to be a little bit creative as well about what you can do or what you want to do. And I actually said this to my group. I said, the more work you put in now, it's going to be hard to just do the same thing over and over because it's going to grate mentally on you for 6 weeks and everything leading up to now as well. So get a little bit creative with it. Have a little bit of fun with it too. Like do a different workout differently, different movement, different method. Have fun with it. It doesn't have to be so serious and I have to perfect this and have to change something. Put a couple of variables in there, make it fun. Stimulate your brain.
And bring value to whatever you do.
With that.
Value.
Yeah, value.
Engagement.
Engagement, that's right.
And like the routine.
Work the mind muscle.
Yeah, and I know, but routine's hard.
Yeah.
And I know winter's a reason.
Yeah.
But unless it's raining, cold weather, I'm pretty sure if it was winter and it was cold, you'd still play the game.
That's right. You go in the cold gym every Sunday
you still play the game
or Saturday.
You still should be able to train some way.
Friday night.
But that's where, going back to the whole worries, I worry about the ones who, and I know it's hard to try and create the routine, I get all that, and you sometimes need a bit of a push and shove, and we let things go a little bit. And if you let things go a little bit today, you're going to let it go a little bit more tomorrow. If you cheat today, you're going to cheat more tomorrow.
That's right. That's the discipline.
If you steal once, you're probably going to steal again. That's those mindsets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But I just go back to, I just don't want the wrong excuses, the wrong message from the people that try and give me the wrong reasons why they did or didn't.
Well, if you can look at yourself stay true. Hey, I didn't feel great about it. I felt terrible about it. But I did try this. Hand on heart, I tried this. I tried to have a routine or a method about the way in which I was doing things. That's okay.
Absolutely.
It's not going to, for everyone, it's not going to work.
Acknowledge it, accept it, and then learn to deal with it. But if we hide and behind things that, if we give an excuse once, you're going to find another reason to have another excuse. Yeah. Either you put in or you don't. Yeah. It's either one step forward or it's not. It's something is better than nothing. Whatever that is. Yeah. But like you said, you got to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you got to try and enjoy yourself. So
and I know it's mixed. I get all that. Yeah. But we're also, for some kids, if there is a luxury, this what you can do on social media these days. You can play games, you can watch this, you can watch that. You can access anything online if we need to engage in something, but that's become too much. How much do we spend online to keep them engaged? How much do we say, let's go outside if it's winter and we're stuck in a home, we can't leave our front yard, we're in lockdown or we're in restrictions. But yeah, I don't know. Let's be true and be honest to ourselves and make sure that when we come out of it, there's no regrets.
Yeah. And you left no stone sort of unturned.
Fear the regret of what you could have done, should have done, but you didn't do.
Yeah, absolutely right, I think.
And I think that every day.
Yep.
I think about what I could have done more here. What could I have done more better?
Whoa.
Well, yeah, and if people see downstairs and you'll see, I went to a crazy, like there's one stage I woke up, I didn't wake up because I wasn't asleep. I got out of bed, left, I think 1:30, was here at 2 and worked 13 hours straight. So I felt like I wasn't doing enough. But then I was doing too much. Like you did. I put more of a routine on a routine. I was trying to keep some sort of routine, but now I'm out of whack. Now I can't sleep. My hours are erratic. I'm not getting fired by a certain time. I should be working. I'd normally be best working. I should be working in the morning. I'm working better middle of the night, which is wrong. It's not real.
It's not real. Exactly.
But I'm good because the phone's not ringing. But
turn your phone off.
Yeah, but that's
it's
not
hard. But you've again
that analogy. I've got to ring it back.
Wow.
What people are, don't answer. Yeah, I know. But if I don't take this one, I've got to ring him back.
Look, and you run it's a small business. You live for the contact, and that's an opportunity for you. So it's probably hard for me to say, no, just turn off your phone.
But I get but I get the reading what the people say. Yeah. But like I always say, but there's 30 messages on my phone. Yeah. I have to listen to the 30 messages. And people say just delete them, but no, I'm a business. Yeah. Yeah, and some might be rubbish phone calls or not waste my time, but you got to look at them, you got to respond to them, and that's what we do.
That's right.
Because I would have done that before COVID, so I'm going to do that during COVID.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to do that after COVID.
Yeah.
We'll survive. So how do you feel about tonight's conversation?
Great. It's been really good.
I think we've touched on, I don't know, I think we need to rewatch this because
we're going to have to, because I think there's some great themes that we can probably dig a little deeper into for hopefully the people that do watch this. Let's say we hope you do, because we're doing this for you. But there's some great things we can elaborate on, dig deeper into, and even get a little bit of engagement from people that are listening. And if they want us to talk about something in a little bit more detail and want to know our views or perspectives on things, and
we'll have a bit of fun with it at times.
Absolutely.
But everything we do will have a message. But
yeah.
Like you're saying, is this is for you guys. Yeah. But it's good to capture how we think and how we talk, because with a lot of things we think we should have recorded that, we should have captured that.
Yeah. So how many times we had that conversation?
Yeah, mate. People should say what I say in the car. Forget what I say in the car.
This is like
should record it.
Big Brother.
Pardon me. Absolutely. And I'm just thinking that out loud that moving forward that. We may hit some, we may miss some. This may be a hit, maybe not be, but it doesn't matter. As long as we've got some sort of engagement and we get some sort of traction or feel about something, like you said, we can expand on it. We can discuss it. Sometimes we'll talk on facts. Sometimes we'll talk on what we feel and think, logical thinking. Yeah. One day we might have a bit of a fun debate where Aaron might see one side of something, I'll see the other. Yeah.
What happens if we see both the same side? What are we going to do there?
We'll
flip a coin or rock, paper, scissors and debate the other way.
We'll go into that. I want to actually, not that I'm going to convince you because you'll be pretty much onto me in return, but I want to show how you can actually try and manipulate a conversation to try and turn a conversation to suit you.
Yeah. Well, you'd be great at that.
But that's what coaches and that's what parents, coaches, and kids.
Yeah,
I can convince a kid that they did something and they say, "Well, no, I didn't." I say, "You did." Okay, I did. Well, no, you didn't. You should have actually stood up for yourself and said, "Well, I didn't." How we can actually turn things around, and just because I have a view on something, I can still debate something about from the other side of the view. If that makes sense. So
yeah. I get you.
That's a bit confusing. Then I think I got a bit tired. Then it's been a big day. Got a bit lost, but I mean, just to show that how people do, I think at times fight an argument they don't truly support.
Argue for the sake of arguing.
They like to surround themselves with that type of conversation or that type of controlled dominance. So,
that sounds tiring.
Well, if you only think that's black, I know people who will say no, that's white. They'll just say it's white because that's just
charcoal.
Well, charcoal. See, that was wrong anyway. Anyway, we'll have fun trying with that.
Yeah, no,
we'll test the case on that.
We'll do that,
and we'll have fun.
Yep. The other thing is the swear jar. We're going to put the swear jar in. We're going to have to find a way we'll have to keep tally of it because I'm very confident that you'll
Well,
more in than I will.
To be fair,
So
I've got no income, so it's pretty hard.
That's true.
So I've only got.
All right,
I'm joking. If I'm going to swear, I should be accountable and pay my way. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Can I pay the gatekeeper? If I swear, I swear.
Yeah.
And luckily, we've done once. Not once have I sworn.
No, I was actually about to drop one.
And I was hoping. I was going to give you.
You were about to put the mug out.
So you would pay up.
So if we donate to the swear jar, was it gold dollar donate?
It's gold coin. I was hoping for silver 5 cent pieces, but anyway, because I'll be worth gold.
We tally it up.
Yep.
Over
a period of time.
Yeah. How long are we going to do this for? 1 year?
Well, or we might see.
Long it is.
Or we might see people match it.
Yeah.
We could create a bit of a matching dollar for dollar concept, and then what would you like to do with it?
We donate it to charity.
Okay,
100%
of choice or viewer's choice.
Oh, that's a great question.
So maybe something you think about.
I don't want to be in charge of that. I think maybe viewer's choice or your choice, Daz. This is your party.
No, it's an us. It's not an I. It's not a we. So
maybe
there's a lot of concepts we're going to come up with.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we get supporters on it who will back it and support it. And we'll have a tally and so forth.
I'm very curious.
My wife is scared now because
she'll come in here with the duct tape and just tape your mouth.
Yeah, don't tell her we're doing this because she's just going to think I won't survive a week. I won't survive a week. So we'll get through it.
Well, maybe we'll save the swearing till things get back up and running and might be able to
maybe I'll
donate a bit.
Yeah, I'm happy
frequently.
I'm happy just to get all my swears out of one night. I'll have to. I'll just put
maybe an adults only podcast that night. Oh gosh,
I'll get a sponsor. Just give me $100. I'm going to swear 100 times.
But no, I think people need to match it.
All right, so we'll come up with some ideas.
Yeah,
that's just a start. It's the first one. It's either hit and miss, but this will lead to other things and so many different things we're going to discuss and have fun with. But
are we going to debate a metaphor? Are we going to try and break down what these analogies or
metaphors?
Do we want to try one now?
Yeah, we can. So. I'm not sure. How long have we been going for?
I don't even know. There's no clock in here. Isn't that a bit scary? Oh, there's a clock on the computer there.
All right, we're at 51, so we'll go for a couple more minutes. We don't want to.
We've probably been going for half over, maybe.
Might wake our viewers up because they're probably falling asleep in between. Just getting light. Right. Well, they're swearing now, they're getting their swear jar out. So an analogy. One hits me every time. This one hits me every day.
Yep.
Every day. What's your analogy? You give me one. I'll give you one. What analogy or metaphor, and they're sort of the same, sort of different. The means are
probably sayings.
They got sayings and the means, and where one's opposite the other, and one I don't know. But so, what's an analogy that really doesn't really make sense to you?
Now you put me on the spot, and I was hoping to put you.
You started it.
I know. That's why I was trying to put you on the spot to come up with one.
I just manipulate the conversation.
Only because footy's back,
right?
And I've been watching a lot of it. Coaches, press conferences, whatnot, because I find that stuff interesting. I hear a lot of the line, "It is what it is."
It is. What does that mean?
What does that mean? It is what it is.
What it is.
So COVID-19 right now, we're in a position, it is what it is.
So does that mean you've accepted it, haven't accepted it, struggled with it, not struggled with it? I'm a fence sitter.
I'm a fence sitter, it is what it is.
I don't deal stuff.
Or it's a great question, but I just want to give a very quick sort of glossed over answer of it. It is what it is, so we can move on. And
I reckon it'll be used so many times. And yeah, people like shut you up. Don't want to be honest about how I feel,
or don't want to debate it.
Yeah,
so I've probably been guilty of saying this myself. I've probably used it. So I'll be talking about something and with the lovely wife, for example, and I'll say, "No, well, it is what it is," just to end the conversation.
She would stab you, mate. She would.
You know what? I love her. She'll say
she's a lovely lady.
She'll continue on.
Yeah, and you'll say, and no longer do I feel that way. I'll give you a response then. I'm pretty sure you change your.
I think So I don't know. Maybe that's just a flavour. It's sticking in my head right now. It is what it is. Maybe unless you can come up with something better.
No, mine's. I don't want to go into a dark one, but it's just one that hits me all the time. It's only the good die young.
Right.
Hate that. Because what's that? What does that mean to me? So I'll give you an example. So when I had the boat, 2 guys died on me. I was the only survivor. My mate was my same age.
Yeah.
And I kept giving this consoling advice and comfort from people. It's okay, only the good die young. But I didn't die. So what does that mean? Is that that's how deep I go into this. That really, it's the first. I'm not going. This is not a negative. No. I'm not going to a happy conversation.
No.
But it's just an impact of what people don't realize when they say an analogy that we all use. Know why you say it. know the purpose of it. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it because it's a common thing to
something
say.
to say.
Yeah, and that's why I get frustrated. So now these days it doesn't bother me. When I hear people say it, I go, be careful who you say it to, and the story of what you say it about, because we don't want to lose anyone young.
No, never, never, ever.
Never. We don't want to lose anyone old.
Well, we don't.
I don't want to lose anyone.
No, we don't want to lose anyone.
And we're all good people in our own way. Some better than others. But that's how I look at it. And But next time will be a basketball analogy I'll give you.
Basketball.
But they'll go for ages because it'll do my head in the one I'll talk about shooting. But we'll talk that one another day.
So that's the next one, the basketball analogy.
Yeah,
you got to bring that.
We'll bring it up. We'll bring that one, and we'll raise that one. Raise it. And we'll talk about that one for a long time.
Will we?
If we went live, we'll have a lot of people who think they'll have their view on that one as well.
We might have to call some people in on that one.
Done. Well, that's what we'll do.
Do you reckon? Do you think we could do that?
We'll pick some people. Well, actually, we'll have another game. Who would answer our calls? Who actually likes us and who'll ban us? And then I'll ring on my phone. If they answer your phone, that means they're ignoring me. So we have a bit of fun doing that too. What do you think? So we're just going to ring people random. But I'm not ringing my wife. I'm not going to. She will not take it too well. I love my wife and happy life. So we're not ringing my wife. But we'll find someone to ring. No, we're ringing my wife. We'll ring my wife next time.
Nah,
I just want to tell her.
Well, she's going to watch this and she's going to be forewarned.
Yeah, but she won't know. But I don't
she is definitely turning the phone off. There is no way.
When she gets me in the finest, she responds in the finest. So let's get it raw and real. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
And I think people will be fun.
I'm just going to say I'm on Kaz's side.
Yeah. Well, we've got to go because we're going to be here forever.
We could be here forever.
So as always, I love chatting to you, mate.
Thanks, mate. It's great being here.
Your company's always great. Love it.
Thank you.
Viewers, thank you. Thank you for everyone.
We hope you guys got something out of it. I think like we spoke about, we'll dive into some stuff going forward. And ping us or Daz or myself, either a message if you want us to talk about something. Do it.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to mention names. We won't ever do that.
That's why we won't go live.
No,
we'll do recordings and no, we have to go live. No. We'll talk about that. We'll think about that.
We'll think about that, but we won't use names. So I guess, if you want to hear us talk about something or want to hear our perspectives on something, please reach out.
We'd love to.
Absolutely.
And this is what we're doing it for. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
We want to sort of help you guys, but what you guys don't realise, it actually helps us too.
Yeah.
This is our way of thinking, therapy, cleansing the headspace and just trying to be creative and let you guys be creative as well. So
100%.
We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
That was fun.
That was fun.
No swearing.
Thanks, mate.
That's good.